Yes. Fair use. Fair use. I'm not making any money. This is for criticism and educational purposes only. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops of Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you achwatim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This is your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. Yeah, this is Fortune. It says U.S. has the world's most advanced military, but the unforgiving economics of war in Iran and Ukraine shows equality has a quality all its own, right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you don't need a bunch. You don't need you don't need quantity. You need quality, right? You can have a large army. You can have a large amount of bull, and that's all you got. $4 million BS, man. That you letting these little drones that's 20,000 just tear up your whole military, showing you're not a formidable foe, right? Yeah. So this is a U.S. war on Iran has laid bare a dichotomy in the world's most advanced military. Oh, matter of fact, okay, yeah. It says dichotomy. Dichotomy is a division, contrast, or oppositions, between two entirely different or mutually exclusive things, such as good versus evil, or theory versus practice. Right? Yeah, because in theory, we'll go in there like we did Venezuela. We'll go in there, we'll bomb, we'll do this and that, we'll go and snatch people up, we'll do like that, and we'll just knock it all out, and we'll be ruling up. In theory, it made it seem like, we'll just have what we want. We'll have our way with these people. But in practice, as you're doing it, you're living it. It ain't working out that way, right? Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 2. It says, take the millstone and grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare. See, because they were saying that this thing is laying you bare. The financial burdens is laying you bare, showing the contrast, the difference between this great military and then what's quality. When it's built right, you don't need quantity. You need quality, right? So it's showing that you're being made bare, that you're not as great as you thought you were. The great swelling words that you keep speaking of yourself, it ain't adding up. It's not adding up, and it's an embarrassment, man. Right? You're out there now, right? Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, right? Because that's where you're at. You're over there in the time you passed over the rivers. You passed over the Jordan and all the other rivers, and now you're over in the valley of Yehoshaphat, man, where your face is going to be turned towards the Euphrates, and your hinder porch towards the Red Sea, right? Yeah. So I came here to Google, and I thought to ask if grinding the millstone is a military term, but this is what it gave me.
Grinding a millstone isn't a typical military saying, but it's used metaphorically to show intense pressure or a heavy burden, like in the phrase, "the mills of God grind slowly." It appeared in a poem about military progress, referring to using the mind.
Right? For to what? Your mind is exposed. What the Lord said that is there's no more wisdom in Teman. The Lord said that he should take wisdom out of Edom. So your military minds, you used to have these great military minds, strategies and things. Now your great military mind is made bare. So we know how to get you. Now everybody knows just to use a bunch of inexpensive drones to come up against you. Since China seen that, I bet you China's going overload on building drones. So when they go against you to go for Taiwan, they're gonna pull out so many drones to attack you with, because warfare has changed. And if anybody knowing that the sword being your blessing, you should have been the main one on that. But the Lord is pulling it back, man. He's pulling back that your military mind, your progress of your military mind, it ain't there, right? Says a military poetry poem to a military progress used. Oh, well, that's what it said. Yeah, to use of your mind like a millstone to grind chaff. How do you say that word? Slakia, yo.
Metaphor.
It's a metaphor. Yeah, come. Yeah. So yeah. It was a military poem by this person right here.
Marianne Moores.
Marine Moore's poem to military progress, used as the metaphor. You use your mind like a millstone to grind or chaff, right? You got your mind, put your mind to your military progress, and what you do is you grind down your enemies, right? But your ability to grind down your enemies, it ain't there anymore, right? Yeah, so this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, right, given that the power of the Most High to assign a date, a time where you will only rule a certain amount of time, and then that time will be your judgment. And see, now all these things are not, the things that used to work for you are not working for you. Saith Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachah HaKodash, even destroyed the wise men out of Edom. See, and that's what I'm saying. Your military mind and the things that you were thinking to do, in theory, to go in there and I'll just go in there and I'll do this, but in practice, you haven't. And you have the most amount of practice, which is crazy. Because all you do is continue to fight and fight and fight. You just left a 20-year war, but you didn't know that the next stage of the war was drones. How did you not know that? Right? And now you're coming in with your $4 million Patriot missiles. And they're being decimated, man. They're having no effect, right? It says, "Oh, thy mighty men," which going into your military, right, Esau, and your military was greatly advanced by what? Old Teman, right? It was greatly advanced by the Temanites, right? When you go into the Project Paperclip, when half of the German scientists went to America, the other half to Russia. Then you had the space race, and then of course you created you started making missiles and hydrogen bombs and nuclear weapons. I mean, not nuclear, but atomic weapons. And then of course eventually you started making nuclear, and now that's where you're at. So this whole thing that you have created, that's why the Lord said He had created the smith that blow up the coal, and that comes from the Temanite. The Temanite are that smith, right, going into you Edomites, because your creativity only allows you to create weapons, right? You don't create things for life. And even if you did, you'll turn around and figure out a way that you could turn that into a weapon. You know what I mean? And that's because the sword is your blessing. To the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off. So your military is going to get cut off. Even though you have this advanced technology that was created by the Temanites, which allow you to create missiles and rockets and things like that, you're still going to get cut off because there's no understanding in you. There's no wisdom. You're not wise anymore, right? Yeah. So basically, yeah, your military mind ain't where it used to be, man. You're losing. It says, take the millstone, grind the mill, uncover the locks, right? Your hair, your glory. It's gonna get uncovered. And then you're gonna find out you're a bald head scallywag. You don't have no glory, right? It says uncover thy locks, make bare the thighs. Saying that's this military conflict has made you bare. Uncover, make bare the legs, like it, and cover the thighs, making you bare. It says pass over the rivers, pass over the Levant, right? Pass over the Jordan, and now you're over there messing with Persia. You're in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of judgment, the valley of troops, right? It says thy nakedness shall be uncovered, right? So this military conflict is left you uncovered. Everybody's seeing that you're not as strong as you said you were. All right? Your military is looking very weak. Right? And it says, yea, thy shame shall be seen. See? And it's a shame on the stage, on the world stage, you're getting your ass handed to you by Persia, by Iran. So much so that you're asking your allies to help you, and they stepping back like, we ain't helping you. We don't got nothing to do with that. So you as this great power, and you've been able to stump around and say this and say that. Here it is now. All these nations that you helped at one particular time when they needed you, and you showed up. Even China, if you think about it. I was watching a documentary years ago, and it showed how America had to show China how to fight guerrilla warfare in the jungles against Japan in order so they can get China back. And America actually helped China defeat Japan. Right? And then on top of that, you drop the bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on Japan, and you think they're not going to remember that? See, even your allies are going to shoot missiles on you, man. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. And saying, in this your military not winning the way it is, and everybody seeing it, and thy shame shall be seen. And this is ultimately what? And I will take vengeance. And this is ultimately the vengeance of the Lord, is why you're not prospering. And I will not meet thee as a man, showing you the power of the Most High. He's not going to meet you as a man. When the Lord comes back, he's coming back in his angelic power. He's coming back in those chariots, which you call UAPs or UFOs. And he's coming back as an angelic angel. But even that is just showing you he's not meeting you as a man. He's showing you that he has the power over the minds, over the people, and over conditions without moving a muscle. Right? The Lord could just destroy the stuff without really even coming back, technically. But hey, why not show up, bro? When you're that good and you're that why not make an appearance? So hey man, because that's why the Lord said that the tribes of the world, the tribes of the nations, the people are gonna wail because, hey man, why not show up so you can wail, right? So you could cry when the third woe is and the Lord cracks the sky. Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 51 verse 9. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of Yahweh, right? So the Lord's finna raise up Yahweh Shai, man, to come and deliver his elect, but ultimately to punish you heathen, man. Right? Awake as in the ancient days, see? And that's Yahweh Shai having that angelic body, that angelic form as in the ancient days, when him being the first the only being that Yahweh has created, because Yahweh Shai created everything else. So the only thing Yahweh ever created was Yahweh Shai. So he's going to have that ability, that authority, as in the ancient days and in the generations of old, are thus not it that have cut Rahab, Rahab, and wounded the dragon. See? So the Lord destroyed nations before, man. He cut down kings and destroyed nations before. And hey, he's going to do it again. Right? Are thus not are thus not it which have dried up the sea. See, and that's what the Lord's going to do. He's going to allow these missiles to hit certain parts. Hey, it's going to decimate the sea. The trees and all sorts of things are going to, man, the whole earth is going to shake. And the waters of the deep and the waters of the great deep that have made the depths of the sea a way for the ransomed to pass over. Whew. Right. Yeah. Because we were kidnapped, man. Right, but the Lord allowed it to happen. Right. The Lord allowed us to be ransomed, basically to be kidnapped, but He's coming to deliver us. Right. Wow. So this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Right? Your destruction is imminent. Hell is just a grave. It's not a burning place you burn forever. It's just a grave or condition. Right? The time that you're going to serve your 1,000 years and chattel slavery. That's what's coming. Regardless, you did it to us, it's going to be done to you. That's just the facts of life, right? You know, and it's coming for you, and that's why things are just falling apart. You're grasping. What do they say? Grasping at straws, or one of those terms that Esau. You mean? It's like it ain't gonna help you. It's null and void. It's imminent. Your destruction is imminent. It's definitely going to happen. It says, so you're gonna be in you're gonna be put into cargo slave ships, and you're gonna get sailed to the other end of the earth, and then sold. You mean? Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Holy Bible. But first, the Lord has to have you fight this World War III. And that's why everything is not working out. It's to meet you at your coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even the chief ones, right? The other kings of the earth. Chief ones of the earth, right? The other key top people, military, presidents, prime ministers, whatever they want to call themselves, generals, whatever they want to call themselves. But it's causing these countries to come down to the valley of Yahushua for the ultimate day of judgment, so you all can get judged all at one time, right? But they're gonna come ultimately. Everybody's upset with this whore, with America, with Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, right? Right, which is also spiritually known as Egypt, and Assyria, right? Right. Of course, Sodom and Gomorrah. But yeah. The city of confusion, right? It's confusion, confusion, Babylon, right? Another ways of saying it, basically. That's just this place. People is tired of the boastery and the boasting, and then come to find, hey, you're being made bare, right? So the chief ones, they're gonna all raise up against you, even all the chief ones of the earth, right? Which is talking about reincarnation, because those are old kings and things that came back from before, but they're all warriors. That's just like what's happening with Persia. Persia, go back; those were warriors back in the ancient times. They were ruling. The Persian and the Medes ruled. They know what it's like to have a ruling mentality, and then to just have someone come over there and think they're gonna just smack them around. Nah, they have a ruling class mentality. They're not gonna just sit down for that. right? It says, it has raised up for you thrones, all the kings of the nations, right? World War III. All the nations are going to come and fight. It says, all they shall speak and say, are thus shall say unto thee, or thus, or thou, Shalakia, are thou also become weak as we? Oh, wait. You had the world's biggest military, the world's most advanced military, but here we are, a small little nation that you say is not relevant, and we handing you your ass to you. You became weak as we, and then China looking like, oh yeah. You're lunch now. You know what I mean? You're nothing. No, nobody's afraid of you now. After what Iran's doing to you, or thus become like unto us. And your economy, everything is becoming a third world country. Yeah, right. Keep continuing on. It says, thy pomp, see that pride, that pomp is brought down to the grave. See, when it said hell shall meet you, hell is just the grave, and a lot of you Edomites are going to go to the valley of Yehoshaphat and become a grave, right? you know. It says, and the noise of thy vows, says the worm is spread, which means decay. So like the way your military was this powerful, great military at one point in time, and you could just go in, look, it's actually decaying. You're not this great military that you used to be. And the worm shall spread under thee, and the worm covers thee. See? And it's showing that your military is decaying. Your military, the way you used to be able to have your military mind and just go in with a strategy and conquer, and it's not happening no more, man. It hasn't happened. It hasn't been happening since you went into outer space. Ever since you went into outer space, that was like a ticking time to the time of the third world's war. The time that we're looking at, and that day of the Lord, the Lord shall not meet thee as a man. So we're coming to that time. It says, how are thus fallen from heaven, right? Your rulership, right? Your power is going to be taken from you. How are thus have fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Lucifer just means light bearer. It don't mean the scary man from under the ground that's burning forever in the hell that burns forever with a pitchfork. It's not talking about that. It's talking about them in rulership. Lucifer means they're in rulership. They have the foreknowledge and things and insight that they could see and basically rule this world, right? With the knowledge to be able to do it. Says they're as wise as Daniel. You were able to put researchers and this and that and this out there, and then manipulate certain key things, but you weren't able to do it all because the Lord was going to have hell meet thee at thy coming. He had to set it up for the prophets to be able to prophesy and say, wait a minute, no. Based on the scriptures, the Israelites are black. Matter of fact, if you go to Russia, look at all these Russian icons. And then even Putin came out and went to and dug them out and showed the world, wait a minute, it is these people. Even though he may or may not be an Edomite. Right? Because if he's an Edomite, he's going into slavery. But if not, then if he's an Israelite, then it is what it is. He's gonna get destroyed on this side, and he had to come back as a baby. But If he's an Edomite, he's definitely going into slavery, man. Because what? How are thus fallen from heaven from your rulership, O Lucifer, man? You're the light bearer. You had the light, the Illuminati, right? A light, what does what? Illuminate. And that's what they were representing. It represents the Illuminati, right? Son of the morning, right? Being you're in your rulership. Because matter of fact, Great Britain said that the sun will never go down on Britain, right? Why? Because they literally had the world, right? Because it says that in the scriptures. It said that Esau, your blessing says you should get the earth, the world by the sword. So by the sword, you've gotten the world, right? And that's the sun never going down on your empire, right? On the world. How are thus cut down to the ground? So you ruled complete over the entire world, and somehow your military is barely standing up against Iran. After you killed all their generals, all their things, the Ayatollah, you didn't do all this, and they're still being a formidable foe to you. That's not good, bro. That is shame. That is shame, right? Thou art cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation. See, and you fought against all the nations in the world, and now's the time that you're going to get cut down. So with all that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to your sisters, your achwatim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and above all, and Chum Yasharallah.